They don't want you to hear this, because once you learn what I'm about to teach you, you'll never be controlled again. The world is not ruled by good men. It never has been. It is ruled by those who understand one brutal truth. Control is everything. The one who controls perception controls reality. The one who controls fear controls obedience. And the one who controls the story controls the world. You were raised to obey, trained to seek validation, conditioned to feel guilt for desiring power. But I will tear that illusion from your mind. Power is not evil. It is nature. And those who reject it are devoured by those who embrace it. You want to know how to manipulate others, how to control without being noticed, how to dominate silently. Good, you're finally ready. Now, listen closely, open your mind, kill your conscience, and prepare to learn the art of power in the modern world. They've lied to you since birth. They told you to be kind, humble, selfless. They told you to wait your turn. They told you that if you're good, the world will reward you. But look around. The kind are stepped on, the humble are silenced, the selfless are used, and those who wait their turn die. Die waiting. You were born powerless, but now I will show you how to dominate. This world isn't fair. It's a battlefield dressed in the costume of civilization. The powerful have simply learned to wear better masks. Power today doesn't look like a sword. It looks like influence. It's not shouted from a throne. It's whispered through algorithms, news feeds, and boardrooms. You think manipulation is evil? No, manipulation is how everything works. Parents manipulate their children. Companies manipulate consumers. Governments manipulate nations. It's only called evil when you do it without permission. But I'm not here to ask for permission, and neither are you. If you wish to rise, to control, to bend the world around your will, you must understand this. Power is perception, and perception is a lie waiting to be crafted. Let me teach you the first lesson. Never show your real intent. Your desire for control must be hidden behind a carefully constructed illusion. Speak of peace, but plan for war. Speak of loyalty, but prepare for betrayal. Speak of honesty while weaving the perfect lie. This is the art of masks. To control others, you must first become invisible to them. Let them see what they want to see. Let them think they are in control. People don't resist what they believe they chose. Next, study people like prey. Don't look at who they pretend to be. Look for what they fear, what they crave, what they're desperate to hide. Everyone has a pressure point. Your job is to find it and own it. Some want admiration. Others need validation. Most just want to be seen. Feed their need. Give them what they think they want, and they'll never see the chains you place around them. Let me give you an example. You walk into a room. You're the quietest person there. You observe, you listen, you say little, and yet within 10 minutes you know who the insecure one is, who the leader pretends to be, who's desperate for approval. That's your edge. That's your battlefield. You don't confront them. You don't threaten them. You simply outmaneuver them. Make the insecure one need your approval. Make the fake leader defer to your calm confidence. Make the approval seeker depend on your attention. You win by control, not confrontation. Manipulation is not brute force. It's elegance. It's the puppet master pulling strings while the puppets applaud. But here's the secret most will never tell you. To master others, you must first master yourself. You must kill your need to be liked, silence your emotional reactions, erase your desire to explain yourself. You must become immune to praise and deaf to insults. Only then do you become untouchable. Let them talk, let them assume, let them think they know you. Because while they're busy analyzing the mask, you are rewriting the entire script. Understand this, and you will already be ahead of 99% of people. They live their lives reacting. You will live yours orchestrating. You're not here to blend in. You're not here to be fair. You're here to take what most people are too afraid to even admit they want: power. And don't be ashamed of it. The world is a machine. Control it or be a cog inside it. This was your first lesson. You've stepped through the first door, but there are many more. In the next lesson, I will show you how to bend minds using only your words, how language, not violence, can control crowds and destroy empires. But for now, remember this: never reveal, only influence. Never chase, only attract, and never obey, only pretend. Manipulative language, a tool for influence speaking at. Words are the invisible wires of society. They bind empires, they start wars, they seduce nations. And if you learn to wield them correctly, you won't need armies because the minds of men will fight your battles for you. Understand this. Power today isn't taken with force, it's taken with narratives. He who controls the narrative controls reality. This is why rulers don't need swords anymore. They need media, messaging, branding. And this is why you, my student, must learn to speak like a weapon and write like a god. First, forget everything they taught you about honesty. Truth is weak without power behind it. People don't follow the truth. They follow what makes them feel safe. They follow what confirms their bias. They follow whoever speaks with certainty, not accuracy. So when you speak, don't speak to inform, speak to influence. Use strategic ambiguity. Say enough to spark curiosity, but not enough to be decoded. Make them ask questions. Make them fill in the blanks with their own desires. When they think they've figured you out, you've already won because they've created their own illusion and credited you for it. This is called the illusion of choice. Let them think they chose you. Let them believe they arrived at your conclusion independently, when in reality, every word you spoke was a seed planted in their mind, now growing into belief. Let me give you a rule. Control the frame or you lose the game. Framing is the silent killer of arguments. It's not about what is said, but how it is positioned. If you call someone emotional, you've already disarmed their point. If you call your manipulation protection, you've already won sympathy. If you make people argue within your language, you've already made them prisoners of your story. Now understand the use of mirroring and echoing. People trust those who sound like them. If they speak fast, you speak fast. If they use certain words, you reflect them back. Make them see themselves in you, and they'll begin to believe you understand them. Once they believe you understand them, they'll stop questioning your intent. That's when you strike. Use loaded language. Never say, I disagree. Say interesting, but let me show you something deeper. Never say, you're wrong. Say, let's consider a different angle. You're not opposing them. You're guiding them. Like a shepherd leads sheep to the slaughter. Speak with pauses. Silence is not emptiness. It is pressure. A well-placed pause after a sharp phrase makes it echo louder in their minds. For example, most people think they're in control. They're not. This creates power, drama, dominance. But let me teach you the most dangerous technique of all, confusion. Yes, confusion. Say things in ways that seem profound, but are hard to interpret. Let them think it's deep. Let them try to decode you. People fear what they don't understand, and fear creates respect. Politicians use this. Gurus use this. The elite use this. They speak in riddles. They never give direct answers because direct answers can be attacked. Mystery cannot. If they can't pin you down, they can't control you. If they can't define you, they can't destroy you. Remember, language is not about being understood. It's about being felt. You're not here to explain yourself. You're here to command emotional reactions. Make them feel awe. Make them feel uncertainty. Make them feel like you know something they don't. Because when people feel inferior to your knowledge, they'll surrender their minds to your words. This is how revolutions begin, not with blood, but with belief. And now that you understand this, stop speaking to be heard. Start speaking to control. Harnessing emotional vulnerabilities. You've learned to hide your intent. You've learned to weaponize your words. Now you must learn the final piece of manipulation, emotion. Emotions are the strings that move people like puppets. Every man thinks he's rational, logical, but he isn't. He's ruled by fear, shame, pride, and a desperate hunger for validation. And the one who masters these levers controls him completely. Let's begin with the strongest weapon, fear. Fear governs the masses. Fear of rejection, fear of loss, fear of being seen as weak. Create fear, and you create obedience. If people fear being left out, they'll conform. If they fear embarrassment, they'll submit. If they fear consequences, they'll obey without resistance. This is why powerful people never threaten directly. They let fear fill in the blanks. They speak impossibilities, not promises. A lot could go wrong if this fails. I hope you're prepared for what happens next. They don't tell you what the punishment is. They let your own imagination create a punishment worse than reality. The unknown is always more terrifying than the known. Next is guilt. Guilt is a self-imposed leash. Use it, and people will betray their own self-interest to seek your forgiveness. Make them feel they've let you down. Make them feel ungrateful. Make them feel selfish. Then offer them a way to redeem themselves by giving you what you want. Say things like, "I trusted you. You always used to support me. I didn't expect this from someone like you." You don't need to attack them. They'll punish themselves. Then there's validation. This is the currency of the weak. Most people don't want power. They want applause. They don't need truth. They need to feel special. So feed them. Tell them what they want to hear. Compliment them. Flatter them. Make them addicted to your approval. And once they're hooked, withdraw. Pull it back. Make them feel your absence. Make them chase the high they once got from your praise. They will bend themselves to get again. This is emotional control, the manipulation of reward and withdrawal. Do you know how a lion tamer controls a beast 10 times its size? He doesn't fight it. He feeds it, then he starves it, then he feeds it again. You must do the same. But let's go deeper. Ego is your greatest weapon and their greatest weakness. People are so desperate to protect their self-image that they'll do anything to avoid humiliation. Use this. If you want someone to agree with you, make them feel like it was their idea. If you want them to submit, make them believe they're leading. Stroke their ego, and they'll hand you control with a smile. But don't ever let your own ego rise. That is your greatest enemy. You're not here to be liked. You're not here to feel good. You're here to win. Detach from the need for emotional comfort. Detach from praise. Detach from validation. Because only when you are free from emotion can you control in others. Now, let me teach you one final principle of emotional leverage. Hope. Yes, even hope is a tool. Dangle it. Tease it. Make them believe something better is just around the corner if they just keep playing your game. Hope keeps people patient. Hope keeps them blind. Hope keeps them loyal long after logic tells them to leave. You don't need to fulfill your promises. You only need to keep the illusion alive. A cruel master punishes. A smart master gives just enough reward to keep the leash tight. You don't rule with power. You rule with emotional dependency. If they fear losing you, if they crave your praise, if they need your approval, then you own them. Not just their actions, but their identity. That is power, not visible, not loud, but total. This is your third lesson. And if you've understood it, you're no longer just a student. You're becoming a shadow in the minds of others, a presence they can't explain but can't escape. Next, I will teach you the deepest law of control. How to remain untouchable while controlling everything from behind the curtain. The invisible ruler, power in Shadow's Man Detective. Power, my student, is not in being seen, it is in being unreachable. The greatest rulers in history were never on the front line. They were behind the throne, behind the generals, behind the smiles. They didn't fight battles, they chose who would win them. This is the deepest law of control. Remain untouchable, control everything, be seen as nothing. Do not confuse influence with attention. The world teaches you to chase fame, validation, applause. That is bait. The true masters avoid the spotlight. They control the ones inside it. Here's how. Step 1. Build proxies, not empires. Do not rule directly. Rule through proxies, people, systems, brands, institutions. Let others carry your message, enforce your decisions, and absorb the risks. A king on the throne has a head ripe for the guillotine, but a king with no crown, he becomes immortal. You must become the architect, the strategist. Let your influence be so embedded that removing you collapses the entire structure. That is power no sword can touch. Step 2. Detach your face from your power. Your face must not be the symbol of power. Let others take the credit. Let them be celebrated, envied, and watched. Why? Because when power has a face, it has a target. The moment people know you're the one pulling strings, they'll begin sharpening knives. But if you're nowhere, they cannot strike. You're the ghost in the palace, the whisper in the king's ear, the unseen storm. Step 3. Disappear after impact. When you make a move, vanish. Don't linger, don't explain. Let the results speak and leave the room. When people feel your impact but never see your hand, they begin to fear you on a mythical level. They'll say, "He always wins, but we never know how." That mystery becomes your shield. That fear becomes your armor, and no one dares to challenge what they cannot locate. Step 4. Create dependency. If people need you, they will protect you. But if they know it's you they need, they will eventually try to replace you. So feed them results, not knowledge. Give them what they want, but never reveal how you get it done. Keep your methods hidden. Keep your systems coded. Keep your loyalty uncertain. The moment they feel they can do it without you, they will. Your goal is this. They can't replace you because they don't even know what you truly do. Final rule, become a legend before you die. One day you'll fade, we all do. But a legend manipulates the world even after death. You must craft a legacy so untouchable that no one questions your methods. They only admire your results. You must become a blueprint, a shadow, a law of nature. When people speak of power, your name should not be shouted. It should be whispered, because true power never announces itself. It moves in silence. It rules from behind the curtain. It never bleeds. And now my final question for you. Do you want the throne, or do you want to own the man who sits on it? Silence as strength, the mystery effect. Noise is the language of fools, but silence is the code of kings. You speak too much, you reveal too much, and you wonder why the world manipulates you like a puppet. Let me teach you a lesson in stillness, my student. Not the stillness of peace, but the stillness of a predator before it strikes. In this modern world, where everyone screams for attention, the one who remains silent becomes terrifying. Mystery is no longer just attractive. It is dangerous. It is power distilled into silence. You see, when you say nothing, people create their own stories about you. Their imaginations will exaggerate your strength, your cunning, your threat. Why expose your real limits when fear does it for you? Never explain, never defend, never react. Your silence should be the loudest voice in the room. When they insult you, don't respond. Let the silence choke them. When they beg for answers, say nothing. Let the unknown torment them. When they challenge you, observe, nod, and walk away. You've already won. The weak man fights to be heard. The powerful man watches and controls. In modern warfare, it is not the sword that dominates. It is information, and silence is the vault that no enemy can crack. Understand this. The more predictable you are, the less powerful you become. If they always know where you stand, they know how to strike you. But if they don't even know what you're thinking, they won't dare make a move. You must become unreadable, your motives obscure, your feelings hidden, your intentions fogged in shadows. Mystery breeds fear. Fear breeds respect. Respect becomes control. You must also weaponize delayed response. In this age of instant replies, the one who pauses calculates. Let them feel the gap. Let them squirm in uncertainty. That space between their action and your response, that's where you gather power. They speak in minutes. You respond in days. And in those days, you dominate their thoughts. Let your silence become their obsession. Let them project their own guilt, fear, and insecurity onto it. They will think of you at night, wondering what you know, what you're planning, and why you said nothing. They will never guess that the silence was your move. The modern man exposes himself in every text, post, and confession, but the one who reveals nothing commands everything. He is no longer just a man. He becomes myth. Now listen closely. Before you act, think. Before you speak, wait. Before you reveal, calculate what power you will lose, because every word you give away is a sword in your enemy's hand. Be still, be silent, be feared, and they will follow you, not because they understand you, but because they don't. Now you know what they'll never teach you. Not in school, not in society, not in books they want you to read, because this knowledge is dangerous. If you're one of the rare few who can handle it, subscribe, because here we don't follow the world, we reprogram it. Like this video, leave your mark in the comments, and never forget, the ones who play fair are ruled by those who do.